You have been doing the same things with your money for years, the same habits, the same choices, the same results, month after month. And deep down, you already know that something is not working. Every month you work hard, but the numbers in your account stay the same. Every year, life gets more expensive, but your savings do not grow. You feel like you are running on a treadmill that never stops moving. Today, that changes. Before we go any further, if this is your first time here, hit subscribe right now, drop a comment below, and tell me one money habit you want to change this year. That one comment helps me understand exactly what you need and create videos that truly move your life forward. And if you know someone who is stuck financially, share this video with them today. The next few minutes could be the turning point they have been waiting for. Now let us get into what you really came here for. This is for the people who are done waiting and ready to act. There is a rule that most people never learn. Not in school, not from their parents, not from any job they have ever had. It is the rule that quietly separates the people who always struggle from the people who slowly and steadily build real freedom. It is not about earning more money or finding a second job on weekends. It is about the way you see money, the way you treat it, and the small daily decisions you make without even thinking. These decisions add up over time into either a wall that traps you or a door that sets you free. This is the power behind minimalist money rules, and it starts right now. Most people live in a kind of financial chaos without ever realizing it. They earn money, they spend it, and then they wait for the next paycheck to arrive. They call it normal, but normal today is just another word for stuck. The cost of living keeps going up, and the things that used to feel affordable now take a bigger and bigger piece of everything you earn. If you keep doing what everyone else is doing, you will keep getting exactly what everyone else is getting. And what most people are getting right now is stress, growing debt, and no clear path forward. Minimalist money rules exist to break that cycle at its root. What you are about to hear is not a get-rich-quick story, and it is not a magic formula. It is not a secret club that only wealthy people have access to. These are real, practical rules that any person can start using today, no matter how much or how little they earn right now. People who follow these rules do not always look rich from the outside. They do not drive the newest cars or wear the most expensive things, but they sleep without financial anxiety. They have real options, and over time, they build something that lasts. That kind of wealth is the kind that actually means something in your daily life. Most people spend money to feel good in the moment. They buy things to reward themselves after a hard week of work. They upgrade their lifestyle every single time they get a small raise or a little extra cash. And then they wonder why, after 10 or 15 years of working, they have almost nothing saved to show for it. The first minimalist money rule is this: never let your spending grow as fast as your income grows. Every time your income goes up, the biggest part of that increase must go toward your future, not your present. This one habit alone, applied consistently, separates the people who build wealth from the people who just earn more and stay exactly where they are. Here is something that will genuinely surprise you when you first understand it. The people who carry the most expensive lifestyles are often the most financially fragile people in the room. They look successful from the outside, polished, comfortable, and doing well, but one bad month, one unexpected expense, one lost job can destroy everything they spent years building. Real financial strength does not come from how much you earn every month. It comes from the gap between what you earn and what you spend, and how carefully you protect that gap. Minimalism is not about living with less suffering. It is about keeping more of what actually matters to you. Think about the last 3 months of your life and try to be honest with yourself. How many things did you buy that you no longer use, no longer think about, or would not even remember if someone asked? How many subscriptions are quietly being charged to your account that you forgot you even signed up for? How many meals, trips, or purchases felt exciting for a day and then disappeared from your memory completely? That is where the money goes. Slowly, quietly, without any drama, without any warning. The second minimalist money rule is this: spend intentionally, not emotionally, on every single purchase. Every dollar you spend should be a real decision you made, not just a reaction you had. Most people make financial decisions based entirely on how they feel in a given moment. They feel bored, so they shop. They feel stressed, so they order food they did not plan for. They feel behind compared to others, so they buy things that make them look like they are ahead. Emotions are powerful, and the modern world is designed to turn every single feeling into a purchase. Every advertisement you see exists to connect your emotional state to a product that costs money. When you learn to pause before spending, even for 30 seconds, you take back full control of your own financial life. Here's the truth that almost no one teaches, and the financial industry hopes you never fully understand. The average person is not struggling because they do not earn enough. They are struggling because they have never been shown where their money actually goes every single month. Most people have no clear picture of their real monthly expenses at all. They guess, they estimate, they think they know, and they are almost always wrong by a wide margin. The third minimalist money rule is this: know your exact numbers, not approximately, not roughly, but exactly. You cannot change what you refuse to clearly see. When you sit down and look at every single dollar leaving your life each month, something powerful starts to happen. You stop being surprised when money disappears. You stop wondering where it all went at the end of the month. You start seeing patterns that were invisible to you before, and those patterns show you exactly where you are losing money without receiving any real benefit in return. This kind of financial clarity is not comfortable at first, and most people avoid it for that very reason. But it is the foundation of every real improvement you will ever make in your financial life. Now let us talk about something that most financial advice gets completely wrong. Everyone tells you to save money, and saving is important, but saving alone will never make you financially free. Saving without direction just creates a pile of money that inflation slowly and steadily destroys from the inside. Every year that your savings sit untouched in a low-interest account, the rising cost of everything makes that money worth less than before. The fourth minimalist money rule is this: put your money to work before you spend it, not after. Not after the bills, not after the fun, not after the convenience. This shift in order is the principle that changes the entire trajectory of your financial life. When your money arrives, the very first thing it must do is move toward your future. Not to bills, not to entertainment, not to anything that makes you feel good right now. The moment you get paid, a meaningful portion goes directly toward building the life you actually want. This principle is called paying yourself first, and it is one of the oldest and most powerful ideas in personal finance. The reason most people never do it is simple and frustrating. They plan to save whatever is left over at the end of the month. And at the end of every month, there is never anything left. Think about someone in your life who always seems financially calm and steady. Not necessarily rich or flashy, just stable in a way that others are not. They do not panic when prices go up. They do not seem destroyed when something unexpected and expensive happens. That calmness does not come by accident, and it does not come from luck. It comes from having a real financial cushion, a layer of protection between their daily life and the unexpected things life always eventually brings. The fifth minimalist money rule is this: build your protection before you build your pleasure. Most people have it completely backwards, and nobody ever corrected them. They spend on pleasure first and then hope something is left for protection. Emergency savings, basic insurance, and financial reserves feel boring. They do not feel exciting or rewarding the way a new purchase or an experience does. But when something goes wrong, and something always eventually goes wrong in every life, those boring protections become the most valuable things you own. A person with no financial cushion is always one bad event away from a real crisis. A person with a cushion has time, options, and the mental clarity to make good decisions. Here is a question that almost nobody asks often enough. What are your biggest monthly expenses actually giving you in return? Not the small daily purchases, those are easy to see. The big ones. The rent that is a little higher than you can truly afford. The car payment that was just above what made real financial sense. The lifestyle commitments that lock in large fixed costs every single month regardless of how you feel. The sixth minimalist money rule is this: reduce your biggest fixed costs just as aggressively as you reduce your small daily ones. A small daily coffee is not why people are broke, and that is one of the most repeated financial myths out there. What keeps people financially stuck are the large, locked-in monthly commitments that leave almost no room to breathe or grow. When your fixed costs are low, every raise, every extra project, and every bonus becomes real usable fuel for your future. When your fixed costs are high, every extra dollar disappears into the same obligations it always has. This is exactly why two people with identical incomes can have completely different financial lives after 5 years. It is never just the income, it is always the structure of how that income is committed before it even feels like yours. Let us talk about something that is deeply personal and rarely discussed in financial conversations. The way you feel about money right now was not chosen by you freely or consciously. It was shaped by what you saw, what you heard, and what you experienced in the years before you could even question it. If money was always tight growing up, financial stress became your normal state, and you carry it today. If money was never openly discussed, mystery and quiet anxiety became your default relationship with it. If spending was the way your family expressed love or success, you carry that same pattern today in ways you may not fully see. The seventh minimalist money rule is this: understand the emotional story you carry about money, because that story runs nearly every decision you make. This is not soft talk or therapy language. This is practical, financial reality. People who overspend are very often not being careless or foolish. They are responding to a deeply rooted emotional relationship with money that they have simply never examined or questioned. People who are too afraid to invest are very often not being stupid. They are responding to a fear that was planted in them a long time ago by circumstances they did not choose. When you identify your emotional money story, you can finally and intentionally begin to write a new one. That is the moment when real lasting financial change becomes possible. Now let us talk about the element that makes the biggest difference over the long run. Not talent, not luck, not income level, not the right investment at the right time. The one thing that separates financially free people from financially stressed people more than anything else is consistency. Small, boring, consistent actions repeated every week over years create results that look dramatic and impressive from the outside. The person who invested a modest amount every single month for 20 years looks like a financial genius to everyone watching, but they were not a genius at all. They were just consistent when everyone around them gave up or waited for the perfect moment. The perfect financial plan that you admire but never follow will not help your life at all. The perfect investment that you keep waiting to fully understand before you start will never fully arrive. The perfect moment to begin that you have been waiting for is not coming. Start with whatever you have today, even if it is small, even if it is imperfect, even if you are still confused about parts of it. Start imperfectly, start scared if you need to, but start. And then keep going. Week after week, month after month, through the boring stretches and the discouraging ones. The 8th minimalist money rule is the one that makes all the others work. Do not chase perfection, chase consistency every single day. Here is what these 8 rules look like when they work together in your real life. Your spending never grows as fast as your income grows. Every purchase is a real conscious decision, not just an emotional reaction. You know your exact numbers with no guessing or avoiding. Your money moves toward your future before it goes anywhere else. Your protection always comes before your pleasure. Your fixed costs are kept as intentionally low as possible. Your emotional money story is examined, understood, and rewritten on purpose. The people who follow these rules together do not live small or boring lives. They live free lives in the truest sense of the word. They travel when they want because they planned and saved for it. They handle emergencies without falling apart because they prepared for it quietly over time. They invest without panic because they understand exactly what they are doing and why. They help the people they love without creating financial damage for themselves in the process. They wake up in the morning and their financial situation does not determine their mood for the day. Now think carefully about the people around you. Think about the ones who are always visibly stressed about money, always one paycheck away from a real problem, always working harder without ever moving further ahead. They are not unlucky people. They are uninformed people who were never given the right tools. Nobody ever sat them down and clearly explained how money actually works and what rules actually matter. You now have something they do not have. You have the awareness, and awareness is where every real change has ever started. The question now is simply what you decide to do with it. Start today, not this weekend, not after the next paycheck. Today, choose one rule from everything you heard and commit to it for the next 30 days. Write it down somewhere you will see it every morning when you wake up. Decide exactly how you will apply it to your life this week in the most practical way you can. The person you want to become financially is not built in one dramatic, life-changing moment. It is built in the small, quiet, honest decisions you make in ordinary weeks just like this one. This is your turning point, and it starts right now with one simple choice.